Good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning.
Happy Tuesday. You have Kenny and I today. Derek, send him some good vibes, guys.
Yeah.
The flu has run through his house and it's his turn now.
Yeah.
So send some healing vibes to Derek and his ohana. But today you're gonna hang out with Kenny and I. So we like to start our lives. I was like, what's the word for the thing that we're doing right now?
Still waking up.
Yes. Okay. Sorry. No caffeine yet, but we like to start our lives with a little bit of, feedback from our hot clients or very attractive as well. But
Yes.
hot is a classification that we use in our team that kind of just signifies somebody who is active right now. Either they're actively writing offers or we're actively preparing for listing their home. We're on the market, one of those things. When we're active and we're more communicative and we're in the stage of your process where you're probably hearing from us more. So we have our Charlotte. We have our assistant Charlotte.
She is our Charlotte.
She is our Charlotte. We have our Charlotte make these phone calls for us, check in with our active clients just to kind of see if there's any feedback that we can give. Thankfully, mostly positive. So let's go over a couple of those. We'll do a little core team Hawaii. What's the word? Chihu.
We're gonna give some flowers to some agents
let's give
and
some
shout
flowers.
out some clients.
Okay, I'll read. Let's do the first one. This is from Tavia. Tavia is somebody who is going to be coming to market soon as a seller client. Mahe and Derek have been great. They message me once or twice a week. They have great communication. And if I need anything, I text them and they text me back very punctually. Very fantastic. Thank you, Tavia. We are getting closer and closer to being on the market. So if you guys are looking for kapolei single family home, a smaller single family home, keep us on the radar. We will have something coming soon. Okay. Let's do one from Debbie for Kenny. Kenny has been very attentive. Derek and Kenny came over to our place to take a look if we want to sell our place after we closed on the new one. They did meet with us. He did some research on the people that live above us as well. Yeah. Tell me more about this.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. So getting into the nuances, they are sort of a reverse client. A lot of clients will sort of need to sell then buy. Mm-hmm. They're in a unique situation to be able to buy. And they're in escrow with new construction over at Ho'opili.
Okay. Yeah.
And then they're going to sell as soon as they're done and then look to maybe recast their loan or something along those lines. Okay. Right. So they did not want to be temporary at all. They did not want to be displaced. They didn't want to be dealing with showings and open houses and stuff. Let us get out and then you sell it for us. Yeah. So the upstairs neighbors were renters at the time and they wanted to I looked into it. We happen to know who the property manager / broker agent is. Yeah. And I just reached out to her and she was like, nice. No, the tenants moved out. It's been vacant for a minute. Owner's coming back. He's military. And was out on a tour of duty and is coming back and he's going to live there as owner. And that helps us as listing agents in the future to be able to disclose who's above or below. Right. So there's the details on that.
Nice.
Thank you, Debbie. Extra. Appreciate the good vibes and we'll see you Saturday.
Awesome. Okay. I don't ever read the ones of myself because it makes me nauseated.
I'm just going to say this out loud for her. She got 2 perfects on a couple of these safe surveys. So meaning the client said, Mahe is the perfect fit for us. So good job, Mahe. Since you can't read for yourself, I'll say
these are Lisa and Deirdre, who I love both of those ohanas. So glad it's going well. I'm glad you guys are enjoying your process because I love working with you guys. So let's get into it.
Let's go.
Today we're going to talk about, you may have seen our listing video, not listing video, it's more of like a neighborhood walk and talk lifestyle video that featured one of our listings on in the Monsarrat area on Kanaina, the crosshair of Kanaina and Monsarrat, right around the corner there. So had a lot of feedback on this video. It did well. And it looks like a lot of people are, looking at that area and talking about that area. So we wanted to touch base on that with you guys today, maybe dive into it a little bit deeper. Load us up with any questions that you might have, either as a follow-up to that video or, something separate that you want to ask us about. Now's your opportunity. These are the days that we do that. But we'll talk a little bit about the listing. It's, oh, what's up? Oh, okay. All right. So if you could hear me, I hope you could hear me. I don't know if you can see me or not, but we'll just keep talking about this. So the listing is at Diamond Head Sounds. It's a boutique, older style, walk up, like condo, low rise condo. It's 3 floors. It's got a nice little pool. It's like literally right at the base of Diamond Head. So you are just off of Monsarrat. You're right up the road from it. It just couldn't be more convenient as far as location and proximity to whatever you need. You know,
it's a great little pocket.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
I don't spend enough time there. You know, prior to us having this listing, I actually helped our clients buy this one when they first bought it. But prior to that, you know, I didn't it's been like years since I had spent any time up in there. So I forgot how cool of a pocket it is. And it's like even cooler now. Cause I think it always had that type of energy of like, oh, you know, like young people in like active wear, like, you know, living a relaxed, you know, life. But now it's like different because there's just like more stuff accessible, like Pilates everywhere, yoga everywhere, like wellness centers everywhere. And I'm like, okay, like, you know, if you could do an ice bath, you can get an IV drip, you know, like everything is just like right out your door over there. And it's just really kind of centric. It's just such a good area for people who enjoy that lifestyle.
Plus all the stuff that's always been on Kapahulu forever.
Yeah. I mean,
it feels like Waikiki just has a dead end.
Yeah.
Once you get to the zoo, once you get to the shell.
Yeah.
And then what?
Yeah.
Like Gold Coast, which is a thing that people probably are familiar with, but there's this little in-between thing. It's a cool little spot. So hopefully we can find the right fit for that one.
And we kind of did the video feature was a little different, a little new. We did kind of a lifestyle of like somebody, like a visitor versus lifestyle of a resident. And that neighborhood kind of lent itself to do that type of video because it's so close to like the epicenter of tourism on Oahu, right? Waikiki. We all know that's just, some people, that's their only concept of Hawaii. It's Waikiki. So, you know, we hope to maybe like broaden your horizon a little bit and show you kind of, you don't even have to go that far. Just go up the road, you know, to Monsarrat and look at this different kind of pocket that you can experience. I have like, my in-laws were just in town and they were like, oh, you know, the beaches aren't even that good over here. Like ours are nicer. They're in Florida, right? I'm like, I guarantee you they're not. It's like, I promise you they're not.
There's a few that are really nice, but
it's just like, oh, but these, I'm like,
they're not comparable. It's just different.
It's like Waikiki Beach. I was like, oh no, like this is, I mean, Diamond Head is amazing, but I was like, yeah, but like there are other beaches, you know, I was like, this is an amazing beach, but there are other beaches and there are other things besides, resorts. There are other things besides, you know, Kalakaua Avenue. There's other things besides Hermes and like, you know, Louis Vuitton. Like there's other things, and you can venture out not that far and get on a biggie bike or, you know, you just, there's so many cute spots to visit. We did Diamond Head Market and Grill and Market and Grill, Diamond Head Market and Grill,
Diamond Head Market. And,
we had a couple comments who were like, oh, you guys never even like showed a blueberry cream cheese scone.
My bad.
Yeah, that's Kenji, because we were actually like looking at them and I was like, oh, these are like major, these scones, because I have bought scones there before and eat, like that's perfect for after you pause surfing. After you're done, if you're finished surfing, you get really hungry and really thirsty. So you just tank a bunch of water and you just eat a bunch of carbs, like right after you've been in the water forever. And a scone is perfect for that. So the blueberry, have you ever had the blueberry cream cheese or any of the scones? Oh, so good.
The blueberry cream cheese.
They're like this,
great right
this big too. They're huge. So, I mean, next time you're in the area, maybe if you're showing for that one client, got to go check them out because it's like,
get them fresh, bring them.
I mean, even when they're not fresh, they're like, oh my God, so good. Yeah.
Okay.
So I checked that out. My dad
on the foodie list.
Yes. My dad works construction. So he did like a lot of town jobs. He did like all those buildings in town. So we would, like Diamond Head Market was like one of the areas that we would like pop into and grab a this or grab a that, you know, and it's because it's not in town. Like, sure, Monsarrat is in Honolulu, you know, but it's not like in town. Like it's just, there's, you know, you can little bit easier to park. And I mean, not terribly easy. It's Diamond Head, you know, there's people street parking, and there's interesting thing about it is it's like a mix of like old single family homes and then some like low rise condos.
Dare I say like lower Kaimuki.
Yeah, I mean, it's very close to Kaimuki, you know, it's not that
that's
far.
That's probably why this is more of a hidden pocket, because once you leave Waikiki going East Honolulu towards Hawaii Kai or Waialae or out to the golf course, not everybody knows what's there.
Yeah, it's so close.
I feel like it's in a good way very well hidden.
Yeah.
And I have a client that's working towards buying something, and he likes that area because like he lives in Seattle. He lives in downtown Seattle now. So he's 100% good with city.
Yeah.
Very much a townie, but he's looking for something a little different, but with access too. So unfortunately he's looking for something a little bit bigger. So it's not a match made in heaven, but this area, I'm learning more and more about, and have spent multiple days in these pockets as well. So
it's cute, right?
I love it.
Yeah, it's like a nice little hidden gem with a different vibe to it. It's just close to town, but like not like you don't feel like a full on townie.
Separate enough.
I mean, you're definitely a townie, you know what I mean? You're in town, but you're not like in the craziness of Waikiki. Like I have people who live in Waikiki and love Waikiki, and I can't, it wouldn't be me. You know, I'm just I'm too old, I'm too tired, I'm too grouchy. You know,
you're too old.
I'm too grouchy. But it's just a lot of people, and while there's a bunch of people in the Diamond Head, Pu'ulei Circle, Monsarrat area, it's a different energy. People are like walking a little slower. You know, enjoying their time a little bit more. I think it's just a little bit more laid back and relaxed in general.
He's a runner, so he actually likes to run, and he'll go run like not around Diamond Head, but he'll
run Diamond Head.
More exercise, I think, that could be done less shoulder to shoulder, like what it would be in Waikiki with pedestrian traffic and stuff.
And
like
I mean, obviously, Kapiolani Beach Park is massive and really lends itself to that like person who loves outdoor fitness and
decent playground to go hang out in across the street.
It's okay, you know, view is decent. Park is decent. Grass is okay.
What about the dog comment?
Oh, the dog comment. There was like a really long dog comment about, I don't have it pulled up, but it was something to the effect of like dogs aren't actually allowed in Kapiolani Park, right? That was kind of what it was, but that you can like pass through Kapiolani Park with your dog, but you're not supposed to like be on the grass with the dog. I don't know that. And that if that's is true, then I have certainly like illegally had a dog with us at Kapiolani Beach Park more than once in my lifetime for like hours.
Or else what? Like
I'm not sure. But you know what? There's signs that are posted up, like all parks, public parks have signs that say like what you can and cannot do, but it's a huge park. And like, and you, unless you park right next to the sign, like most people are not like looking at, so my bad, apologies. I don't know. I didn't fact check. We haven't been back to the park to look to see if that is the case. But in practice, we did see like a ton of people walking their dogs all over the place. So I don't know. I mean, if that is on the signs, it's enforceable, right? I just have never personally seen it happen before. So I was actually surprised to read that. And again, I did not fact check this comment to see if that's true or not, but something to look out for. You know, if you've got your pet or whatever, like check out the signage just to make sure you are doing what you're allowed to do in the park. Obviously, no matter where you go, pick up after your animals. You know?
We're not encouraging anybody to break the rules.
No.
Just surprised that there is a rule and what is the enforcement of said rule.
Yeah, I have no idea. But I definitely have accidentally, if that is true, that you're not allowed to. We've had a dog in the park like a few times. Yeah. And not that long ago either. I think I have a picture in the park with Kyle with Diamond Head in the background and a dog.
Kenny, why don't you show us on the map where we're talking about?
Kapiolani Beach Park.
Okay. Zoom it in a little bit. I had Diamond Head to the middle of my screen. Kenji got me.
Yep.
So, I mean, this is like, if there's no dogs allowed in this massive area,
it's a big park.
This is a bigger than Ala Moana.
But it's a gorgeous park. It's well taken care of. The grass is always like immaculate, you know, like I wouldn't be totally shocked to learn that you aren't allowed to have dogs and that you could pass through. I mean, I'd be like, oh, interesting, because it's such it's a park,
Yeah, I think two mindsets. One is like, it's so huge. How could you not allow for dogs to take part in this huge grassy area? But at the same time, it's so beautiful, so well kept.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, I don't know though. This is a cool park. One of my, I mean, I'm not a townie by any means, but I did grow up going to school in town, and my dad worked both my parents worked in town. My mom worked in town. My dad worked, most of his jobs were in town. And we spent a lot of time in town because I was like playing a sport year round or doing concert glee or something year round. So we'd get out of school and my parents would get out of work, and then we'd have like hours to kill because I'm either playing sports or I have canoe paddling on the Alawai and or in Waikiki right there. So we spent a lot of time hanging out in this area and at this park. Like some of my fondest memories are we had this huge bag of lychee and we were like having a lychee pit fight like right there in the park, in Kapiolani. And it's just some place that you can and it's so big that even though there's like tons of people at any given moment using the park, there's always a pocket that you can find, and
there's a ton of space
there's
here.
So much space.
This does, again, okay, circle back to the idea of like this whole little pocket, right, that we're talking about has this huge park that separates you from the townie vibes. No matter how many people are in Waikiki, I think that you could find some quiet space to throw down a blanket, take a nap, have a picnic, mess around with the kids. Apparently don't play with the dog. But yeah, it's such a huge area just outside of one of the densest areas, if not the densest in the state or on the island for sure. Right. So it's a great spot for it. And it's something that we have not taken advantage of this because we live on the other side of the island. But I love it. The couple times that I've been down there, I've stopped and taken a few minutes to just like, okay, I like it down here.
I've fallen asleep in that park many times. Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha.
What else?
Josh Nielsen and Lokahi for Life got comments.
Okay.
Yes. Lokahi for Life. Good to see you back. Thanks for getting on and watching. Apparently you've not been able to watch the last few times. Thanks for the prayers for Derek and good vibes.
Josh Nielsen. Hey team, looking at moving to Hawaii from Australia next year. What's your suburb recommendations for a late 20s active couple? We've been to Hawaii heaps and love Hawaii Kai and Diamond Head areas. Well, if you've been here heaps and you know what you like, then it's kind of, I mean, it depends what you like, right? When you say suburb, like, are we talking like cookie cutter tract home suburb? Because that's kind of what I think of when I think suburb. But what type of lifestyle are you guys hoping to achieve when you're here? What type of things do you want to be around you? Are we people who like covet walkability to bars and cafes? Are we people who, just want the most square footage and we'll drive to whatever we want to do? But if I'm, when I was in my 20s, I'm almost about to exit the 30s pretty soon. Jeez. But in my 20s, in a young, active, like pre-kids lifestyle, if I am somebody who, did you say you guys are active? Yeah. I mean, something like Monsarrat, like this community we're talking about right now would be kind of perfect because you can, as a young, active couple, you have everything kind of at your fingertips that would allow for that lifestyle. But, we're young. We maybe want to go out and have a nice dinner. We want to go out and have some nightlife, and that's super accessible too, but you're not in the mix. So something like a Diamond Head or—
This is a good challenge spot, like a this versus that for them. If I had not seen or had heard you read the back part of that, been to Hawaii heaps and we love Hawaii Kai. 20s active.
I'm thinking Kailua
suburbish.
as well.
I'm thinking Kailua or Hawaii Kai. Are you more water sport or are you more go to the beach and just hang out?
Because you're younger, I would tend to lean more Kailua or like downtown area, like a Diamond Head or a Monsarrat rather than Hawaii Kai. I know you guys like Hawaii Kai. I'm not sure what the reasons are that you like Hawaii Kai, but you visit a ton, right? But living is different. You do, there's only in and out on Kalaniana Ole Highway unless you're going around back, the east way, and going completely around like Kailua, Waimanalo side over there. So Hawaii Kai is like kind of an all-inclusive little pocket community, but it doesn't have like a lot of stuff. You know, you got like grocery store, a couple of restaurants, but it, you know, if I want accessibility to a lot of things, and it's like far, depending on what you do for work, where you're going to be working, even though you're proximity wise, you're not far from town. It's on a widely traveled by kind of a lot of neighborhoods, street in Kalaniana Ole Highway. So
it can get pretty jammed up in there if there's anything going on. Whenever I think about Hawaii Kai or I have these conversations with our clients, the first question for me is, what is your activity? Do you like to jog? Or do you like to paddle? Or do you foil? Or do you have a boat? Are you looking for the ability to get in the water? Or are you, what is active for you? Hawaii Kai is a little bit more incorporated. I'll say it that way than Kailua. Kailua town versus the just the Hawaii Kai shops and stuff that are along the marinas. So Kailua, a little bit more intimate, a little bit more village vibes. Both great places to get out and go for a jog. So what is your activity? Do you like to run? Do you like to walk? Do you like to bicycle? Do you like to paddle? Are you a canoeer? Maybe Hawaii Kai if it's more water sport, maybe Kailua if it's a little bit more on your feet. But this, again, if I go back to this versus that and a good challenge comparison, this Monsarrat Diamond Head pocket right here gives you also the young 20s, date night, straight to town to go and do something that you can't get in either Kailua or Hawaii Kai.
Yeah, right.
Right. And you're just right there.
And it's so close to Kapahulu too. And for like reference of like, oh, who are the type of people who live in this area? Kapahulu Avenue has a runner's high. It has an island paddler. Like these are all sporting good shops. It has a Go Bananas, which is like for kayaking, paddling, getting racks put on your car. Like the community at large in that area, greater Kapahulu, Waikiki, not so much Waikiki. That's sort of like, we know what Waikiki is. It's largely based, the economy is tourism there. So, you know, high-end shopping, things, dining, stuff like that. But in the other areas just surrounding it, Kapahulu, Diamond Head, all of that, it's just made to cater to that person who wants to live an active lifestyle. Like when I want to go get racks for my truck, I got to go Kapahulu. That's where I go, you know, because I know Go Bananas has a bunch of stuff that I trust and like, and the brands that I like, and they'll put it on your car for you and all of that. So I got my first canoe paddle ever from Island Paddler on Kapahulu Avenue as well. So, you know, ocean sports, running, triathlete, all of that stuff, you're probably going to head to Kapahulu Avenue at some point and kind of check that area out to get some gear.
To get gear. Yep. For sure.
Why is Mahe acting like she's old? Wait till you really get old, Mahe. There's a style of life almost anywhere on the island, and the other types are reasonably within short time. Yeah, you're right. We live on, I mean, I feel old. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm saying this. I went to the chiropractor this morning where they like broke my neck or whatever, you know, and my body is achy and tired.
You broke your neck.
I broke my own neck. I was digging weeds and like planting plants over the weekend and slept wrong.
If you see me giggling when she talks about being old, it's because I'm way older than she is.
Just a little bit, just a little bit older. But you're right. The island is small, you know, so you really want to pick like what are the things that are important to have extremely accessible to you, because everything else, it's not like it's not Texas, you know, you can drive an hour at most to do whatever else there is on the island. It just, what are the things daily you want to be doing that you don't want to commute to? And are we the type who like hate commuting or, you know, we're coming from LA and we've like commuted our whole lives and we're sick of it. Like we don't want to do that anymore. Something like Diamond Head, Monsarrat could be a fit for you, or even like Kailua or something too, you know, where everything's just right there, right in the pocket.
The walkable part of it is, some people go, oh, well, Hawaii Kai seems to be really walkable. I mean, there's plenty of pedestrian
it's
access
sidewalk
stuff, but you're going to be walking further to the thing.
You got to walk far.
So it's more of an exercise place. So when I say, what's your activity? I love to exercise. I love to walk. I love to jog. I love to run, ride a bike. Hawaii Kai has plenty of room for all of that and pathways. And,
I feel like Hawaii Kai is really good for like a triathlete.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Cocoa Head, if you're a hiker, you want to do the natural stair climber. But Diamond Head has a good hike too.
Natural stair climber. It's a no for me.
Yeah, it's a hard no for me as well.
JODC, aloha from North Virginia. Aloha. How's it? I've been to Virginia a few times. I don't know where, like north, south,
just along for the
Norfolk,
ride.
wherever that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said in the middle. I'm just gonna say it's in the middle. I don't know where that is. We're notoriously bad at geography, us Hawaii folk. Yeah. When you grow up on a rock in the middle of the ocean, I mean, I don't feel like geography was ever prioritized in my learning. My son is a lot better. He knows the little song with all the states. I can point him out. I'm like, oh shoot, that's where that is. You know, like even Delaware, where my husband is from. When I didn't even know where that was until I married him. You know, I was like, oh shoot, that's where Delaware was. Like weird. I was like, oh, that's weird. I didn't know that.
The 4 or 5 places I've lived, I could tell you about, but the rest of it, I'm geographically
challenged.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, yeah.
Not directionally.
Directionally also. Geographically and directionally. But shoot, you know, we were talking about old.
Here we go.
You remember the days, like who remembers MapQuest?
Yeah.
And like printing out directions of where you were going to go.
Here's the age gap between you and I. Do you remember Thomas guides?
No. Was that like an Oregon Trail or something?
Please in the comments say I know what a Thomas guide is. Like you actually carried a book,
like an atlas
in the car that was a map book, and you looked it up by address, and it would give you MapQuest, not digitally but physically page turning.
No, can't say that I remember that. I was like not driving yet.
Yeah. In another life, I was a delivery driver, and so we had to have that with us just in case the
so bad at
Garmin or the TomTom stopped working.
The Garmin, oh my god!
So yes, I'm older than Mahe.
Lokai for Life said they still have a Thomas guide.
Ah, boy.
Is that?
Thanks for saving me.
But like, did you get it recently, or is it like you have?
I think you can actually still get one. You can just like go to the bookstore.
Oh, okay. What? You can get that on Kindle or what?
Yeah, you probably could order it on Amazon too.
Oh yeah. Order it on Amazon. Yeah, no, I didn't. I did not have those. I did not use those. No need for Thomas guys in Hawaii. That's probably why I didn't. You know, I wonder if just people know about that here. I don't know. I don't know. I'll ask my dad.
I was in California when I had my Thomas guide. So yes, needed in California. Probably, I don't know. Mapping has always been fun for me, but geography.
Mapping has been fun for you?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I enjoy figuring out the best way to get somewhere.
No.
I challenge my Google Apple Maps.
Oh, no, not me. I follow it blindly and religiously, you know. Just like, well, this doesn't feel right, but it's telling me to go this way. And then I'm like, okay, well.
Set it for time and then see if I can figure out a way to beat it.
Yeah. You know what, like, we don't have tolls here, yeah? So I never really set the setting to avoid tolls.
Yeah.
Because we don't have tolls here.
Right.
And now we have a place in Washington, right? And so I'm like on the road there more. And I'm like, what the heck is this? Like, they're like, oh, and my friend's like, you can put it on your thing to avoid tolls. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, it's like a setting on your Google Maps. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like, what? I don't know what the thing just takes your picture. I was just like, how? Like, do you have a to go or whatever pass? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
It's like, so what's going to happen? They're like,
they'll email you and say, here's your invoice.
How are you going to get my email? I'm like, how?
Take a picture of your driver's license.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Or the license plate. And then they just figure your
driver's license plate.
Oh, well, what if it was like my friend's car though?
Your friend.
Sorry.
Your friend
Ashley.
$4.
I'll Venmo you. Lived in Hawaii and biked all the time and walked to Hanauma Bay when you were able to access it for free. Yeah. See, again, like biking and like, I feel like Hawaii Kai has more like people in like, what do you call those? Like Tron outfits, but they're for bikers. What are they called? You know,
I know what you mean.
The get up. There's just more like serious, like cyclists, you know, who live out there and who, you know, are all up and down, like people who participate in Ironmans or whatever. I feel like Hawaii Kai, like probably per capita, I feel pretty safe about saying that.
Hawaii Kai active exercise, potentially competitively active exercise.
I would not all exercise. I would say like specifically like cycling and running, like
Yeah.
triathlete type stuff. Yeah.
Kailua active, more
surfing,
get your board,
windsurfing,
get your paddle.
Yeah, canoe paddling,
Yeah,
windsurfing, like that. But it's not like people riding their bikes in Kailua are biking for leisure. People riding their bikes in Hawaii Kai are like biking to beat the cars next to them. You know, they're like going so fast.
Yes.
Like, yeah, no, it's like, hey, get out of the road in Kailua. And in Hawaii Kai, it's like the bike to the car, get out of the road, you know, like.
That's fair. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Oh no, her Lokahi for Life, the Thomas guide is from the late 80s that they have, or the early 90s, the one that they have.
A little bit tattered, but
okay, go put,
still use it if you need.
Put them on, what's that thing? What's that show called? Antiques Roadshow.
Yes. Probably not worth anything.
Not yet for Antiques Roadshow.
But worth something when that phone doesn't have any service and your GPS
I would just pull over and die of old age, I guess, on the side of the road, because I could never get anywhere without it.
Yeah.
Are you gonna come in and talk story, Jody?
Yeah,
let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Who wants to switch out?
I'll switch out.
Okay.
Because I gotta check something.
Okay.
All right, guys, we're gonna bring Miss Jody Tonga in. So if you guys have any lending, financing questions, this is gonna be for you.
Got it.
Okay.
Hi, Jody.
Also, oh my gosh, the neck. Didn't I?
Hey.
How are you? Good week so far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah. Headed in the right direction.
Yeah. So good. Well, rates aren't headed in the right direction right now, but yeah, it's been a great week so far.
Good. How are applications going?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steady biz.
Yep. It's been steady, and just, people that I've been communicating with for X amount, just kind of coming back and saying like, okay, we want to finalize our numbers. We think we want to start making moves pretty soon. So that's probably been, I don't know, like this week, if I count those people, there's probably been like 10 new requests.
That's good.
So that's new, and then re-emerging new.
Right.
That's a lot, because ideally, like by the end of the week, I want it to be somewhere between 20 and 25. So, and then today we're about 10.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's good. So even though rates are going up a little bit, activity is still solid.
Yes.
Okay. How are rates? Where are we at this week compared to last week?
So this week compared to last week. So last week we were sitting on like a VA was a 5.625 at 0 points.
Mm-hmm.
And today it's a 5.625. Actually, today it's about a 5.75 at 0 points. So it's an eighth higher.
Yeah.
So like $70 a month higher.
Okay.
Conventional, interestingly enough, I guess it moved a little bit. Same rate, but it's pretty much the same rate.
Okay.
So conventional didn't move that much. Investment didn't move that much either, which I was surprised by. So like investment, putting 25% down or putting 20% down, those pretty much stayed the same.
Okay.
Conventional pretty much stayed the same. It's the VA, it's the govies that kind of moved a little bit. Yeah.
Is that government shutdown and some of the mess to clean up from that? That's because it's usually everything across the board kind of moves together.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's more so the govy. Well, actually, there are a lot of specials happening right now.
Okay.
So it's like they went up, but then we still have the special. So when we take the special, the discount into consideration for the government loans, then we're pretty much where we were.
Okay. Gotcha. So a 5.625 is still attainable, but not par per se.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely attainable. Let me look. But yeah, it's been as expected.
Good.
It's been as expected.
Okay.
Because we did know it was kind of trending upward, and we knew that we didn't know how long these were going to come around. And so even though the overall like super macro expectation is downward, we just know that there's a lot of turmoil right now. And so the 10-year is moving up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if this has been discussed at all yet. What are your thoughts on a 50-year? I think I know the answer.
Yeah.
And then what do you think about portables?
Portables would be freaking amazing. I just don't see how they can do it because
Yeah.
there's going to it's going to basically be an assumption.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're buying a house for 900,000 and the existing loan on it is 800,000, you need 100,000 out of pocket.
Right.
And then, and then it's going to take longer.
Right.
So sellers will be less inclined to allow it. And then most people won't have so if you're buying a $900,000 property, you could get away with maybe as little as 40,000 out of pocket or 40,000 down. But now we're talking about whatever that difference is.
Right.
So, and there's no knowing what the difference is. The difference could be 800,000 needed, right? They might might owe very little. And then it's what if there's a HELOC?
Right.
So then it's there's just all these things.
Yeah. Is the second mortgage portable as well? How does that all work out? So
it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Like an assumption.
Yeah.
Great theory.
Right.
Sounds very attractive, but do you have the cash to cover the difference, the gap between what the selling price of the home is and the loan balance? And then I would feel like there'd be a lot of challenges with banks. If somebody was on the mainland and had a Bank of America loan, Bank of America isn't going to work out here. So how does that become portable if they're trying to buy something out here?
Yeah.
Right. So although it's probably the better idea for mixing it up in the mortgage industry to get the housing market back and running in whatever way that we're looking to do the 50-year mortgage I feel like it's only a few $100s a month and you're paying way more interest for the next 20 years, not just because the interest rate is going to be higher for a longer term loan, but the savings is never going to catch up to the amount of additional interest paid because of there being whatever 500 and 700 payments, whatever it is, versus the 360.
Yeah. So it's just way more interest paid over the life of the loan.
Yeah.
And the concept, I can get on board with the concept, which is you're not going to have the 50-year loan forever. You're going to you're going to do it to get ownership. And then when the time is right, then refinance out of a 50-year into a whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
A shorter term and a more favorable interest rate. But there's no guarantee that that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just asking a lot.
Yeah.
It's just the bank wins. Sure, you are saving a little bit, but I would almost say just buy a cheaper property.
Yeah.
That you can afford.
That's a great way to put it. If you're only doing it for the reason that you want this house, but you need a payment that is $200-$400 a month less,
right.
Whatever that's going to be. Let's look at our priorities, right?
Yeah.
Because you're really going to end up paying a ton, and if you're going to refi later to something shorter, your payment's going to go up. So I think maybe in a very specific case by case scenario, it might make sense if there's a known trajectory at work. Your income's going to go up by X every year for the next 2, 3, 4 years. Then maybe because you can catch up and then refi out of it. But in the end, you're just paying too much interest for it.
Right. It's just a lot of interest. And there is a way to have a plan to pay the 30-year term, even with the 50-year loan. But then it's then you would have just qualified for the 30-year, then you're just paying a 30-year. So there's not really, it's just not a good plan. It's not a good solution.
Yeah. I'm not a fan. I think we're on the same page. Couple of questions for you, or now that we've moved into interest rates and mortgage and stuff like that. Seeing rates come down, but relatively relative to people's buying power, it doesn't feel like enough to bring people back into the market who were pushed out by high interest. That's from Tropical Ding Dong. Waiting.
Yeah, it's definitely not enough.
Yeah, waiting to see if suddenly things started moving after interest rates dropped, but that hasn't happened, and it's because there is so much additional uncertainty. I'll agree with the back part of that. My opinion might be a little bit unpopular. Like if interest rates were actually to go down to meet the need, or to go back down to a COVID type of rate, sub 4% even, which is not what COVID was. COVID was 2.5, right? But if rates were to go back down that much, here comes a massive flood of buyers that have been on the sideline waiting for that to happen again. That whole era, that whole 1.5 to 2 years was an anomaly that I just don't think the market's going to be healthy for it. Once that happens, sellers will then go ahead and sit back in their recliner again and say, I can list for whatever I want. I can sell my house for $100,000 to $200,000 more. And at the end of the day, when the dust settles, the mortgage payment is going to be the same. So the buyers that are on the sideline seeking a 3 point something or a 4 point something, once that happens, especially in a market like ours where inventory is always pretty light and there's always a demand, prices are going to go up fast again anyway. So that the wave of lower interest, higher price is always going to be one that you're going to be chasing and trying to catch up to, right? And not to say that it's not a good idea to maybe hold off if you can, but don't try to time the market. Get in the market as soon as there's a set of numbers that makes sense, and hold on to it longer, because if rates do go down and you own, your equity goes up. If you wait and don't own and you are waiting for that rate, you're going to pay for it by the way of prices going up again pretty quickly. Like you have daily rates that you have overnight rates that you deal with and live with every day. It feels like home prices are almost the same. If rates were to go down to 4%, 4.99 tomorrow, everything that's been listed, they could immediately just adjust their price up and they'd be able to get it. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the rate. I guess the big question is just on a macro level, what does it need to go down to make it affordable? Because it's not going to go back down to 2%, 2.5%, 3%.
I don't think it will, and I don't think it should. There is Big Kahuna 33 is asking Jody, can you expound on why you think a 50-year mortgage is really a very bad idea? I feel like we covered the basics, but is there anything else?
I just don't like the amount of interest that is going to be paid over the term of the loan in relation to the ROI. So getting to pay $400, $500, $600 less a month. You're spreading out that term so that you can lower your monthly payment. And the end result is you're paying triple more in interest to the bank than you would have over the life of the loan. And conceptually, it just seems like, I mean, a 2-1 buy down, 30-year, 2-1 temporary buy down is going to save you more monthly.
Right.
And you're still working with a 30-year term. So you're not paying like triple the amount of interest, but also it's temporary.
Right.
So,
and the way my mind works, and correct me if there's anything weird about this, but even if interest rate was the same, let's say for weird example, which I know would never exist, a lender says, we'll give you a 50-year at a 30-year rate. You're still paying that interest 240 more times, amortizing it down a little bit each payment, but 240 more interest payments at 6%. I think even the ROI on that probably doesn't work out very well. If we're saving $300, $400, $500, $600 a month times 600 payments, is that still going to catch up on the amortization schedule, or are you still overpaying on interest quite a bit? Now, that is not the case. The reality is, if this were to come to fruition, a 50-year is going to be 1% or 2% higher. It's going to be higher than even investment loan rates, I would think.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Okay.
But I don't think it's necessarily going to be higher than investment rates, but it's just now, if you're in it and you understand and you're viewing it as a temporary strategy to have the lowest monthly payment possible and then refinance, then and you're like, I have no intention whatsoever to be paying on this for 10, 20, let alone 50 years.
Sure.
This is just a good solution for me to be able to attain home ownership and then have a more affordable payment. I do see it as an okay strategy.
Okay.
I just don't like someone's, like, if I'm already qualifying you to the highest qualification and we're doing a 50-year loan, I don't see the exit strategy out of it.
Yeah.
So that's the issue. And then in the end result is paying way, way, way more interest to the bank.
Nobody wins there except the bank. Thank you for getting on a little bit more detail of that.
Kenneth, stream up a curl.
Okay. Could there be a 35 or 40? Do you think that if more conversation is had at a macro government federal level, would they just do? This starts to get into the car business for a minute. Like I had a life in the car business for 12 years or so prior to.
I didn't know that.
You know, if you want the Lexus instead of the Toyota, and you're okay with making 12 or 24 more payments and doing a 7 or an 8 year finance, then you can make it look affordable. But the $50,000 thing versus the $40,000 thing becomes an $80,000 thing if you keep it for the 7 or 8 years that you're paying for it. You know, I understand, and that's probably where Big Kahuna is coming from. Is that what's the average, like 10 years that you would keep a home?
Right.
Between 7 and 10 years or something like that is what I've heard. So it's not necessarily a perfect analogy to compare car to home, but if we're going to have well, why not do a 20 instead of a 15 or a 25? Like, if it's available at every different 2 to 5 year increment, how crazy does that make your world?
Not that crazy. I mean,
just add a few years. And
yeah. The 40 year is a loan that we had historically done before 2008.
Okay.
And it went away. It was just like, okay, we're not doing those anymore. And not because it fed into, I would say, like the meltdown necessarily, but it was just another product that wasn't just the vanilla 30-year fixed. That everything did get simplified after 2008. But like, just as an example, like on a $500,000 loan, you're probably saving about $200 to $250 a month going from a 30 to a 40-year term.
Okay.
And so I don't see it as a horrible scenario. Again, as long as everyone eyes wide open understands the strategy involved with utilizing that type of loan product. Like neg amortization, where someone could buy $1 million property and pay $2,000 a month, also isn't a horrible strategy, as long as the buyer knows what they're doing. Like they're like, I don't know, but I'm getting this house for $1 million and I'm only paying $2,000 a month. So it sounds great to me.
Right.
So that's what I'm doing.
Right.
And it's like, well, yeah, there's like $3,000 getting tacked onto your loan every single month, and your balance is growing literally every month, you know? And so it's like, that's the concern for the masses, which is like them, just not realizing that now they've paid for a $500,000 loan, they've paid, $1.6 million or,
Right.
something like that.
Right.
And so, but if you really break it down to the day to day,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, we're saving $250, we're in the house we want, we're going to own this for a really long time. I know there's upcoming changes coming to our income situation.
Yeah.
I do feel like we're going to be able to convert. And even if we don't convert, even if we choose not to convert into a shorter term, I've already been given the numbers of what I need to pay in order to be on a 30-year term,
Right.
or even a 20-year term, or even
Yeah.
a 15-year term. And we're going to go ahead and be disciplined, and we're going to pay that down, and we're going to pay that extra amount needed. Then it's a sound strategy.
Right. And that's really where all of this boils down to: simply just have a plan, execute the plan. Are you going to be in the home for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? What does that look like? What's the family situation going to look like? What's the income and the work life going to look like? If saving $200, $300, $400 a month makes sense, and you need this size of home for the family, you've already got kids, you can't take a step back into a condo or a small townhome or something and make the price of the home fit into the budget without going out to 40 or 50 years, then it can make sense.
Yeah.
And so I think we would all be on board with it, as long as we were crystal on what the exit strategy would look like and how bad that looks in year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you can hang for at least that long, if you can make one extra payment a year because of the savings, we talk about that all day, every day anyway, as an idea of just how to stay in front of things and be ready to sell positively in the event that something changes in life, because that's what happens to all of us, right? Life changes. Let's see.
We got 2 more questions.
Yeah, one from Tropical and one from Hudson. Yeah.
Yep.
So one more follow-up from Tropical. Got another question. Let's say you had to make a choice between adding an ADU to an Oahu property or buying property in like Curtistown. We on a 2.6% west side Oahu, but think long-term Big Island. There's a lot to unpack there. Tropical. It's, can you add an ADU? There's a lot of rules, regs, restrictions on that. And the Curtistown part in 2.6, if you're hanging on to that, hang on to that. Do you want to add to that?
So what is the question really?
The question is, go ahead.
Sell?
It's
adding an ADU to an Oahu property or buying a property in Curtistown. We on 2.6 west side. So you already own on the west side, with a beautiful rate.
Yeah. Keep that rented out.
And you're thinking about investing. So either build an ADU or buy in Curtistown.
But long-term Big Island.
Or what?
Or long-term Big Island, meaning to rent it out long-term, or to go buy on Big Island and be long-term?
I think you're probably going to get better ROI long-term Big Island than an ADU on the west side. That would be my opinion. We of course could break down the numbers, look at the rents, look at the cost, look at the down payment needed to buy in comparison to the amount needed to build the ADU. I think the ADU will probably be less capital upfront, but I think the better long-term decision would be a property on the Big Island, an investment property on the Big Island.
I would tend to agree with that.
I don't know how much you're going to get off of your ADU.
Yeah.
Maybe $1,500 a month, maybe $1,200 a month.
West side, between $1,000 and $1,500 to play it safe. $1,200, $1,300. What pocket on the west side? Little bit of nuance in that, but no more than $1,500. I wouldn't think. I think the average, we were looking at we were looking at Evo Kapolei the other day, and per room, it was like 1,100,
Yeah.
11 to 1,200 per
Yeah.
bedroom.
Yeah.
So an ADU generally is just one bedroom and a kitchenette type of thing. So no more than 1,500, I would think, on the west side. Hudson K, strategy is to refinance later on. What percentage down payment do you recommend to be sure that you can refinance in the future so you decrease risk? This is in parentheses. So you decrease risk of home value going below what is owed. That's rare here. We tend to have a pretty steady market as far as depreciation goes. When you see depreciation, mainland or big national market, we tend to just be flat. Doesn't mean that it doesn't go down a little bit sometimes, but generally speaking, your appreciation on the home will keep you up above what you owe almost always. What's the recommendation for percentage of down payment to make sure that they're in a good refi spot?
I mean, the ideal, this is just ideal.
Mhm.
And this is not, I mean, I would by no means be like, okay, well, we're going to wait until we have this in
Mhm.
order to buy.
Mhm.
But the ideal is 20%, because then when you're refinancing, you're not having to deal with refinancing with private mortgage insurance. But nothing's wrong with refinancing with private mortgage insurance. Also, it just makes it a little bit easier. So I would say 20% is ideal. 10% is totally fine. 5% is even fine.
Okay. Can lenders use mandatory trust distributions like payouts at age 40, 50, 60 as qualifying income for mortgage? And if not, could they allow asset depletion using the trust assets instead? That's a good question.
We can, but there's a lot of diligence that is done when proving the amount that you're going to get, the amount that we can utilize. And then the future stuff is a lot more difficult. So if you can even prove to me that in greater than 36 months from now, which is not far, that you're going to be getting this thing, and you can say like, listen, I can prove it. It's on paper. It's a guarantee. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. We cannot use it. We can't use it. It's just not usable. But we can convert a liquid asset into a form of income. That is possible. And then also, depending on age, as you start to pull from the trust a monthly amount, we could also use that.
That's a good one.
And it doesn't have to be permanent. So you do it for the purpose of the purchase. You take ownership, and then what you draw after that is your decision. So if you're like, well, in real life, I have XYZ coming in, which I can't prove on paper. So in order to qualify, I do need this amount. But then I don't want to draw that for the rest of my,
right.
And you don't have to. You just have to do it for the purposes of qualifying and to take ownership of the property. What happens after that is up to you.
Gotcha. Thank you for that. That's Maunalani Hale. Thank you for that question. That was a good one. Build or buy?
Buy.
Yeah. Build has too many uncertainties. Setting a budget for it and sticking to it is next to impossible, in my opinion, even in remodels. So I'm team buy as well.
I would give a really short explanation of the intricacies involved. Just to buy land alone, we're talking anywhere between 30 to 50% down payment required. So if you're buying $1 million plot, you're putting $500,000 down.
Right.
And let's say you have the $500,000. You still have to prove that you are able to convert the loan into a construction loan and to be able to build in sometimes as quickly as 36 months. Other loans out there that we're learning about, they might give you 5 to 10 years to do it. So that's amazing if you can find a land loan that's going to give you 5 to 10 years. But most of them give you 3 years to figure out what you're going to do with the land. Now, the reverse, which the issue is, in order to qualify for purchasing the land, you can't just say, well, here, I have the down, give me my land. You have to say, I have the down, here's what I plan to build, here's the estimated cost to build it. based on a contractor's cost of materials being used and a written contract with blueprints. So if what I'm going to build is going to cost $400,000, but the future value of it after I build it is going to be $2.5 million, then we have to reverse engineer into how much of a construction loan based on a debt to income ratio that you'd be able to qualify for, only to prove that you can buy the land. So we really need to build out the exit strategy for getting you out of the land loan into a construction loan. And if you can't prove how you're going to qualify for that, like, it's like, well, my husband's a carpenter, you know, we get that a lot.
Sure.
And it's like, okay, that's not going to be enough. Like, we still need to know what he's going to build, what the cost to build is, what's the future value is going to be, and how much it's going to, how much you're going to need to borrow in order to build that thing that you say you're going to build.
The blueprint requires an architect and or an engineer stamp and sign off. There are a lot of people that say, we can build a house. We've done it before. One entry level difficulty here is just the cost of land. We are in a state that the land is generally always worth more than the improvements. So you build a beautiful home on this thing and you take it off and the land is worth more than the house that you built. The other restriction or difficulty is just how long it takes DPP. Right. So on the real estate side, the financial side and getting mortgage set up and how do I qualify to get all this done, lots of nuance, lots of things that you have to go through. It'll take DPP 18 to 24 months for you to get approved on permits to build anyway. And if it's a 3-year show me your proof thing, now you have 12 months to
So one of our buyers just called me back and she was like, oh, we just got our plans approved by DPP. I'm like, okay. And she's like, we need more money. I said, okay, how much more? She's like, we need like 140,000 more because the cost to build went up.
Right.
So in the time she was waiting for her, and she had her contractor lined up and everything, but in that time to get the approval to say, yes, go, now you can start building, the cost to build went up by about 140,000. So she came back and she's like, we need to, I'm like, that's why I told you to wait until you could do it, you know? So she had to refinance again. And that's another set of costs, but so she's refinancing on a different property, not the property she's building on. But that's just another example of like real issues that come up and they're experienced.
Yeah.
So.
And even being experienced is just, ouch, we weren't expecting that.
Yeah.
So, I think we're good. We clear?
We are up to date.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, thank you guys for the chat. Jody, thank you for popping in and being open to talk about theoreticals and future chit chat about, you know, what Trump's plans and ideas are and where that goes and some construction stuff. It's very productive. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We will see you guys next week.